Alrighty, everybody, it's Michael Alder here from the landflippingformula.com. And in this video, I wanted to do a quick breakdown of which is better, land flipping or house flipping. So what gives me the credibility on this topic is I've been in the real estate game since 2008. I focused on residential real estate most of that time, but in recent years, I switched to land flipping because for me, there was a lot less stress. But in either model, there's tons of money to be made. So I'm going to give a breakdown on my opinion on which one is better and how to profit from each one. And then from there, you could just run with it and see which is going to be the best fit for you. So first things first, let's talk about price. Now, if you're going into the residential game and you want to start flipping houses fast, you're usually going to start in D-class neighborhoods. So for example, we're going to start in Cleveland over here, and we have houses for $6,000 being listed, just under $10,000 for duplexes. These are on-market deals too. So one aspect of this is that you can get into it relatively cheap and get properties for under $10,000. Now, the next question is, what do you get in the land for? So now we're going to go for some cheap properties in Arizona. There's tons of land. You get land really cheap there. So we have, 1 acre parcels for $1,000, just over an acre for $1,800. And once again, this is on the open market. This is not offers that you will actually be making on these deals. We can go back here so we can check out a few others. Got 2.5 acres for $2,000, 1 1/4 for $2,000. So in Arizona, some cheap land would be under $2,000 on the open market. So let's go back to, if we were to buy these, we would be making offers for, like on these houses, we would want to try and get these for under $1,000 a pop, just for an ugly beater. And we've done that plenty of times in my career, and we're able to flip it for a fast $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 profit to other wholesalers or smaller investors there. So as far as purchasing them, you could get into land or houses for about the same price. These Navajo County properties, you would want to make offers at about $500 and then flip them for $1,000 or seller finance them for $2,000. Once again, super easy to do. And both of these can be bought and sold. If your marketing is good and you purchase them at the right price, you could be in and out within 30 days. So they're both very comparable in that aspect. They're not a lot of time on the market and easy to turn a profit if you buy it right. So next, let's get into the liability of investing in land versus investing in houses. Now, land, if you're doing it on super affordable properties, you're going to be buying these in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's going to be walking across them, so you don't have to worry about anybody tripping, falling, getting hurt on your property. And if so, you just take out an insurance policy, basic policy on your corporation or your LLC, and that way you are protected. It costs very minimal, and you're not going to have any phone calls in the middle of the night. Now let's talk about residential real estate. Now, if you're buying these junkers in D-class neighborhoods all over the Midwest or some areas in the East even, and you're paying under $10,000, some of the liabilities you're going to run into is people will break into your property. They'll steal the plumbing if it hasn't been stolen already. People could get hurt on your property. You can catch a lawsuit for that. Now, I just covered insurance, but it's definitely higher in this aspect. You're going to have county officials, city officials dropping by your property. If it's an eyesore, they're going to cite you and you're going to get fined for that. And you could get dragged into housing court as well, since they're certainly cracking down on that. If you bought these to fix and flip and get a bigger margin on them, you have to deal with contractors. You have to deal with vandals after the contractors come through. You have to deal with city inspections. So there's a lot more to it. Now, can you still turn a great profit? Absolutely you can, but there's a lot more moving parts dealing with these eyesores than there is dealing with raw land. So let's talk about some of the stress factors on land. I just covered a bunch on the residential side of things, but on land, there still are some stressors you have to deal with. So let's say you buy a property at the right price and you're ready to market it. Well, the best way is to do paid marketing, in my opinion, and that's to just throw up a simple website and do pay-per-click ads and create YouTube videos, sending traffic directly to your website. Now, this costs a little bit of money. It's not much, but it's something to keep in mind. Another factor in investing in land, if you buy property that has an HOA attached to it, you have a monthly or a quarterly HOA fee that you're going to have to cover as well. So, nowhere near as much stress as dealing with the residential side of things, but just stuff to keep in mind. So at the end of the day, which is actually better? And for me, it definitely depends on how much nonsense you're willing to deal with and how much patience you have. Now, for me, residential stresses me out. There's way too many moving parts, too many people you have to answer to, and just too much nonsense. Now, can you make a ton of money? Absolutely, you can. But are you willing to put in the effort and deal with whatever gets thrown your way to get that money? With land, you could buy it outright one time. You could do your marketing 30 to 60 days. You could either have it seller financed or flip for cash, and you're diving right back in. Now, if you're dealing with cheaper properties on land, let's say you're buying them for 500 and you're flipping them for 900, you're getting a great return on your money, but it's a volume business for sure. With residential real estate, you could buy these things for $1,000 and flip them for $3 on the cheaper ones, and you could even go much higher than that, but we're just keeping it real here. So you buy them for $1,000, you flip them for $3, you're going to get a much bigger margin, and it might take you the same amount of time, 60 days, but you might get hit with fines and crazy factors that you're not ready to deal with. So it's whatever you want to put into it. There is no right or wrong way. Whichever way fits you best and you're making the most profit on and you're happy with, that's the investment model to go with. Me personally, I love investing in land. It's easy, it's simple, and I don't get phone calls. I don't have to hear about tenants drama, flipping, dealing with the contractors in the city. So for me, land is the way to go for sure. Residential, you can make just as much, if not more money doing that, but you have to deal with more moving parts. So if you're a total newbie in the game, I'd actually recommend that you start with land because the model is the exact same. Get a great price on a property, and then just turn around, remarket it, and get it sold for a profit. But with land, it's simple. You don't have all the moving parts, so you can get your feet wet with land, and then you could graduate into residential if you wanted to do so. So if you want to learn more about land investing or residential real estate investing, I have 2 programs in the description below. One is for the Land Flipping Formula digital course, shows you everything about buying and selling land and how you can get started right away. The other one is for residential real estate. It's called the Real Estate Investing Arsenal. It's only $5, and it shows you how to wholesale land, raise private money, or wholesale residential properties, raise private money, and everything in between. So both are full courses on my personal experience doing both of these business models. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.